So to make anything meaningful and important in life, it's important to do it with full attention, full presence. Try to be fully there where you are, doing what you're doing. So here we are sitting for a meeting. Some things will happen. I will sing some songs, I will talk some. Whatever I will do, try to follow it with all of your attention. Try to avoid being here with your body and with your mind, your thoughts elsewhere, because then it's no use. So in my life I've learned this, that everything is to be done with full attention. Then it brings pleasure, it brings deepness, profoundness, emotions, sensations, perceptions. So let's be here, fully here, together. This path which I practice, as she was saying, it's a very long story for me. It began in 1972, so it's 52 years that I'm doing this. It's not something which I started 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. It's my whole life, practically. So I dedicated most of my life to it. And I know it very profoundly, very deeply, because it's my life. It's me. So, in my experience, it's very important to come to know ourselves fully for what we are, and not just partially. Because we are a body of which we are all aware, obviously. We have a thinking mind that brings us so many troubles, so many worries, so many anxieties, so many fears, so many memories, so many imaginations. Because it's what we do all the time. We keep thinking about what's going to come and remembering what has already happened. Rarely we are able to be fully there in the living present where we should be. So, my teaching is not religious, in the sense that I'm not religious of any kind. I'm not Christian, although I was born a Christian. I'm not Hindu. I'm not Muslim, Buddhist, Jain, Jew, anything. I'm just a seeker of truth. Because for me, truth is above all. Above all the beliefs, convictions, ideologies, philosophies. By the way, living a situation fully, with full attention, with full immersion. That's my religion. So I'm not trying to convince you about any belief system, any doctrine, any theology. That's not my thing, really. I think is try to live a full life in the best way we can. Try to make it interesting, appealing, profound, a good experience to go through. Because most of the time, we live so superficially, just on this surface. But life has so much more to offer. Surface is nothing. There is a deepness and profoundness in everything. that we have to discover. But if we discover it within ourselves at first, then we find it also outside of ourselves. Because we see and we realize of life what's there inside of us. Means our subjective world reflects into the objective world, and we see what we are. If you change, then we see more. So in my method of practice, which I understand, practice is what makes a man. And practice is what makes a spiritual man. We may understand ourselves as spiritual, but if you don't do any spiritual practice in order to contact the spirit in us, the light in us, then we are not spiritual. Again, we have developed some convictions. So in my practice, singing is a very important element. So also in this meeting, I'm going to begin with some few songs. And just listen to them, try to enjoy them, let this vibe, this wave, whatever, go deep inside of you. In my understanding, there is no better involving and uplifting element or method than good spiritual songs, holy songs. So I learned so many songs from the Indian tradition, because I've had two masters, they were both Indians. A long story of 25 years with these masters. So they were both good songwriters, both of them. And they wrote many songs in Hindi, Punjabi, Urdu. In India there are so many languages. So I know at least 300 of them. Not all by heart, but some I have to read. Many I have to read, some by heart. Then I've written many of them myself, in Italian, in English. So I'm going to sing a few of them, some in Indian languages, some in Italian language, and in English also. Language is not important. Again, the way you sing is important. The language is not so important. Many religious people say, this is the holy language. Every religion, every culture, according to their origin, their ancient language is the divine language, the language of the gods. But that's not true. Any language can be holy if you use it in the proper way, with full attention, or can be unholy if you don't use it properly, if you don't give all your heart to it. So please listen with all of your attention. There is not so much of a music element. This is the tampura, and it just gives a basic, a sound of bass, let's say, on which then you develop the melody, which comes from the song and from the voice. So, just enjoy it. चरणों पर सुमानं श्राद्ध के अर्पित तेरे हृदय है जो वही तुझको समर्पित मेरे गुरुदेव चरणों पर सुमानं श्राद्ध के अर्पित तेरे हृदय है जो वही तुझको समर्पित ना प्रीति प्रातीति नहीं पूजा की शक्ति ना प्रीति प्रतीति नहीं पूजा की शक्ति मेरा यामन मेरा यातन मेरा कंकन समर्पित मेरे गुरुदेव चरणों पर सुमानं श्राद्ध के अर्पित तेरे हृदय है जो वही तुझको समर्पित तुम्हारी भाव में मेरे विचारों में पुकारों में तुम्हारी भाव में मेरे विचारों में पुकारों में बना ले यंत्र अब मुझको मेरे सर्वंत्र समर्पित चरणों पर सुमनं श्रद्धा के अर्पित तेरे So the song says, basically, "Oh my Gurudev, whatever I have, whatever I've realized, it's a gift from you. And humbly, I place it at your feet." So this was in Hindi. What comes now, it's in Urdu. Dard mand dil ki halat tumhe batayen, kya cheez hai muaba, dard mand dil ki halat tumhe batayen, kya cheez hai muabat, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं, अफ़शाए राज़े उल्फ़ात, ताऊईने आशिकिये, अफ़शाए राज़े उल्फ़ात, ताऊईने आशिकिये, मिट जाए लाभ पे लेकिन, मिट जाए लाभ पे लेकिन, कियो नाम उनका लायन, एक दर्द मंद दिल की हालत तुम्हें बताएं, क्या चीज है मुआबात, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं, दुनिया से क्या गरज है, दुनिया से पूछना क्या, दुनिया से क्या गरज है, दुनिया से पूछना क्या, मैं तुझसे पूछता हूँ, मैं तुझसे पूछता हूँ, क्या चीज है वफाएं, एक दर्द मांग दिल की तुम्हें बताएं क्या चीज है मुहब्बत, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं। बीमार ने ये कहकर फुरकत में जान दे दी, बीमार ने ये कहकर फुरकत में जान दे दी। अब कौन राह देखे, अब कौन राह देखे, वो आयन या नायन। एक दर्दमंद दिल की हालत तुम्हें बताएं क्या चीज है मुहब्बत, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं। मुझको जगाने वाले अब खुद भी जागते, मुझको जगाने वाले अब खुद भी जागते। मजबूर दिल की आयन, मजबूर दिल की आयन, काली गए न जायन। एक दर्दमंद दिल की हालत तुम्हें बताएं क्या चीज है मुहब्बत, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं। एक दर्दमंद दिल की हालत तुम्हें बताएं क्या चीज है मुहब्बत, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं। सुनाए आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं, आओ तुम्हें सुनाएं। So this next one that comes, it's a composition of mine. Usually I sing it in Italian, but here I'm going to sing it in English. So, let's go. When by thy grace the perception becomes sharp, when by the will comes down the blessing, when by the grace the perception becomes sharp, when by the will comes down the blessing, with tuning with the roar of Nam, the roar of Nam, the roar of Nam. We do nothing, nothing we can. We do nothing, nothing we can. It's only by the grace that we tune in. Let us tune in with the roar of Nam, the roar of allow us to hear the voice of silence, the sound current, the music of the spheres. Allow us to hear the voice of silence, the sound current, the music of the spheres. Let us tune in with the Roram Nam, the Roram Nam. This ego we are tired, of the mind we want to get rid. Get out of the cage of the personality that binds us. Of this ego we are tired, of the mind we want to get rid. Get out of the cage of the personality that binds us. Let us tune in with the Roram Nam, the Roram Nam. In your adoration, we spend our time. In your contemplation, we probe the great mystery. In your adoration, we spend our time. In your contemplation, we probe the great mystery. Let us tune in with the Roram Nam, the Roram Nam, the Roram Nam. We want to ascend from the human to the divine. We want to transcend all the planes till the infinite. We want to ascend from the human to the divine. We want
transcend all the planes till the infinite. Let us tune in with the Rorona.
So now one comes one in Italian.
Nella mente un barlume di saggezza, allora tutto si fa chiaro. Tutto va al posto suo. Quando brilla nella mente un barlume di saggezza, allora tutto si fa chiaro. Tutto va al posto suo. La coscienza si espande, la percezione si fa grande, si vede la realtà da un altro punto. Le priorità cambiano del tutto. coscienza si espande, la percezione si fa grande, si vede la realtà da un altro punto. Le priorità cambiano del tutto. Il mondo e i suoi abbagli sbiadiscono, i sensi e i loro piaceri s'affievoliscono. Si vede la realtà da un altro punto. Le priorità cambiano del tutto. Il mondo e i suoi abbagli sbiadiscono, i sensi e i loro piaceri s'affievoliscono. Si vede la realtà da un altro punto. Le priorità cambiano del tutto. Diventa lampante perché siamo venuti su questa terra, che realizzare la verità è la nostra meta. Scalare la suprema vetta, la grande impresa. Diventa lampante perché siamo venuti su questa terra, che realizzare la verità è la nostra meta. Scalare la suprema vetta, la grande impresa. La visione frammentata della realtà crea tutti i conflitti dell'umanità. La visione dell'intrinseca unità ci collega all'immensa totalità. La visione frammentata della realtà crea tutti i conflitti dell'umanità. La visione dell'intrinseca unità ci collega all'immensa totalità. Allora si cambia completamente vita. che prima per noi era inesistente, diventa la sola cosa importante. Raggiungere l'illuminazione, un bisogno insopprimibile. Allora si cambia completamente vita. Quel che prima per noi era inesistente diventa la sola cosa importante. Raggiungere l'illuminazione è un bisogno insopprimibile. Ora conviene cercare il vero guru, che con la sua saggezza ci istruisca, che con la sua bontà ci imbonisca e con la sua divina luce ci nutrisca. Ora conviene cercare il vero guru, che con la sua saggezza ci istruisca, che con la sua bontà ci imbonisca e con la sua divina luce ci nutrisca. Quando brilla nella mente un barlume di saggezza, allora tutto si fa chiaro, tutto va al posto suo.
So I would like to read to you the translation of this last song in English. When it shines in the mind, a glimmer of wisdom, then everything becomes clear, everything goes at his place. Consciousness expands, the perception becomes great. You see reality from another point. Priorities change completely. The world and its glares fade. The senses and their pleasures lose power. The purpose of life becomes preponderant. The need for truth overwhelming. it becomes obvious why we came to this earth. That realizing the truth is our goal, to climb the supreme peak, the great enterprise. The fragmented vision of reality creates all the conflicts of humanity. The vision of intrinsic unity connects us to the immense wholeness. Then we completely change our life. What was previously non-existent for us becomes the only thing that matters, achieving enlightenment an irrepressible need. Now it is better to seek the true Guru, that with his wisdom he instructs us, with his goodness he makes us good, and with his light he feeds us. When it shines in the mind, a glimmer of wisdom, then everything becomes clear, everything falls at its place.
So, what have we come in this world for, we human beings? What's the purpose of life? Why are we here? What are we supposed to do here? Realizing truth of existence, that's our purpose. Coming to the point in which we see things clearly for what they are, without any screen, without any cloud, fog, just seeing things for what they are. Truth and reality, that's what matters. So are we. What are we? We are human beings. As I said before, we have a physical body, and it's good to take care of this physical body, try to keep it in good shape, so that we don't suffer in it. Because if you suffer in your body, then this life is not worthwhile. So as regarding the body, we should try to keep it in good shape. A healthy life for a healthy body. Then we have a mind. And this is a more complex element in us. To keep body healthy, if you have a good lifestyle, if you take care of ourselves, we do exercise, we can keep in good shape. The mind is a more complex something. It's very difficult to have a grasp on the mind, because thoughts come to us despite of ourselves. Most of the time we don't want them, but they come. Because they go by trend, by habits. So we are usually used to a certain lifestyle. We come in this world in a family, in a culture, in a religion, and we develop certain convictions, so our thoughts become kind of automatic. They go in a certain direction by themselves. So trying to see clearly in the mind is very difficult, because most of the convictions, habits, trends of thoughts which we have developed, we didn't really choose them. They just happened. Because, by the way, of where we were born, culture, family, religion, whatever. So to differentiate ourselves from our thoughts is very difficult. Seeing clearly in the mind is very difficult. So in order to see clearly in the mind, we have to acquire self-control on the mind. Acquire the capacity to still the mind. Because it's only in silence that we can understand. In deep and profound silence. Apart from all our beliefs, convictions, belief systems and everything. So in silence we find the truth. But very difficult to make quiet the mind, to still the mind and be in silence. Did you ever experience 5 seconds in your life without any thoughts? For most of the people it's really impossible. Thoughts do happen in us, do come in us despite of ourselves. They're like ghosts that keep following us. And we can go anywhere. Underwater, up on the peak of the mountains, on the moon, on Mars, in another galaxy, still these thoughts will be with us. So we don't find the peace outside of ourselves. It's not the outer circumstance that bring us peace. We have to find it inside of ourselves. We have to acquire this capacity to make the mind quiet. So coming to this understanding, it's already something in life. Differentiate ourselves from this body and from this mind. All these beliefs that we have are really us, are really what we are. We all identify ourselves with something. By the way, I am an atheist, I am an agnostic, I am a Christian, a Buddhist, a Muslim, a Jew. We all identify ourselves with something, but we are not a something. We are not our belief system. It has been imposed on us by the circumstances of life. So to begin to be free from this, it's already such a freedom. Not to identify yourself with anything, but just as a conscious being. That's what we are. We are neither this or that. We are just conscious beings. We come from the ocean of our consciousness, and we are drops or waves of this ocean of consciousness. Conscious beings. That's what we are. So if you are able to get rid of all this stuff which is crowded in our head, all these beliefs that we have, for which many people give their life, and we begin to differentiate ourselves from all of these, then that's a good step. So I'm neither this, nor that, nor that, nor that. I'm just conscious. I am an alive something. I don't want to believe in anything which is not part of my experience. So what do religions do? They just tell us to believe into something. Believe in this and that and you'll be saved. That's stupidity. You are saved if you save yourself from your terrible situation. Nobody is going to save you unless you save yourself. In order to save yourself from this human predicament in which we are, you have to become the owner of your situation, of yourself. So first try to understand who you are, what you are. You are a conscious being. Then try to understand, to experience what consciousness is. In order to experience consciousness, or the spiritual side of ourselves, we have to raise above body and mind. It's only when we are able to make a complete silence in the mind, stillness of the body and stillness of the mind, and we go in very deep silence, that the inner door opens. The door of inner perception, spiritual perception, which is above body, senses, and mind. So when we acquire this perception, then we can go very deep inside of ourselves. What does it mean going very deep inside of ourselves? We're not supposed to go into the cells or into our body systems. Deep into silence, deep into the light, deep into the consciousness of we are. So transcend this human body. That's what we have to do. Experience what lies beyond body and mind while we are alive. That's the purpose of life. And that's what gives complete realization, complete happiness, complete joy. That's what makes life fulfilled. But the thing is, most of us, by ourselves, we are not capable of doing it. Some very special people, maybe because they have a past of this kind, it may happen spontaneously, that at some point they find themselves experiencing a state of consciousness which transcends body and mind. But for most of the people, it doesn't happen. So most of us have to seek the help of somebody who is capable of doing it, is capable of helping us in doing it. So back in 1972, I was here in Amsterdam, and I went through a deep crisis, really, in which the way I used to be, I didn't like it anymore. What I was doing up to that point, it didn't appeal to me anymore. I was kind of fed up with what I was and with the life I was living. So when this happens, you go into a deep crisis because your life is crumbled down. You don't like it anymore. So what you do? For what should you live? Up to that point, you live for certain things, certain stupidities, which you understood to be the pleasure of life, the purpose of life. So when you go into a crisis like that, if you're lucky, then something happens to you. If you're not lucky, maybe then you end up in psychotherapy or something. So I was lucky because in the deepest crisis of mine, I really touched something inside of me which projected me into the state of consciousness, which was just fantastic, in which I can say, I saw reality for what it is. And I understood what the purpose of life is. And the purpose of life is realizing the truth of existence. At least that's what was revealed to me in that experience. I was shown, like with a magnifying lens, what reality is all about. And that the purpose of my life was to realize this reality and this truth of existence. And I was not even 20 at the time. So that's where my spiritual practice began. Because when you experience something like this, then you want to have it always. Because it's been the most fantastic experience of your life. Nothing before can be compared to that. So you want to have it again. So what do you do? How do you do it? How do you reproduce it? It happened by grace, but now you have to work for it. So that's where I understood that I had to do a spiritual practice in order to reproduce the state of consciousness. So that's where my spiritual practice began. I began doing yoga, studying all possible kind of philosophies and religions. And each practice, any practice I found into these readings that I was doing, I tried to put into practice. Those who said, if you do this, then you transcend the mind or you experience something transcendental. So I began doing lots of spiritual practice, yoga, pranayama, meditation, in order to reproduce that state. And then I understood what the mind is. What an incredible wall the mind is. That to break through this wall of the thoughts, it's an incredible endeavor. So you need discipline. You need perseverance. You need to persist and keep doing it. So for 1 year I went on doing these incredible efforts, trying to bring back this state of consciousness. Sometimes I got quite close to it. Not quite the same, but close to it. So then I understood I need somebody to help me here. Because by myself I don't succeed, that's all. I understood that by myself I don't succeed. So I took a long trip. I used to live in Milan, in Italy at the time. I took a long trip. I went to South Italy, took a boat, went to Greece. Then I went through Greece, then to Turkey, Istanbul, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. And I was very lucky because after a few days I was there. I was given the address of a master. I went to see him. I had seen already other masters in those few days I was in India, but nobody really convinced me. Because hard to believe, you know. Before this experience, which I described before, this kind of awakening which I had, I was an atheist. I was into politics. I didn't believe in any God. As I said, I was born a Christian. But this theology of Christianity didn't appeal to me. So I refused it. And I became an atheist. So to believe anything for me was very difficult, unless it was very tangible and really life transforming, I wouldn't believe anything and anybody. So I was not the easy believer, not at the least. But when I met this master, my God, what happened to me? It was just incredible. Just a shift in consciousness. The experience I had in 1972 was nothing in comparison to that. You know, when the doors of perception, of spiritual perception, open to you, and you find yourself in a sea of light, with an incredible power, with an incredible magnetism, which goes through your cells, through your blood, and through everything. Then you can't say this is fantasy, this is what? Stupidity or convention of belief. It's like a fist in your face, you know? And you can say, it didn't hit me, because it hurts. So that's how my life changed completely. I fell in love with this master, and after 52 years I still love him like anything, because he really saved my life, gave direction and purpose to my life, plus experience of reality. What we are beyond this body, these senses and this mind. And here, after 52 years, I'm still doing the same things. I had two masters. I had the first master, the one I met in 1973. Then he died in 1974. Then I associated with one of his disciples, who became a master. He used to live in Thar desert of Rajasthan. Was a very holy man, and associated with him for 20 years, from 1977 to 1997, when he died, or left this world. And I really cooperated with his work very closely. He told me to create an ashram in Italy. So I started this ashram in Tuscany. I used to live in Milan. I moved to Tuscany and I bought a piece of land, farmland. And so I started this ashram, which is called Sant Bani Ashram. It was 1979. Now I still live there. It's become a very beautiful place. We have regular meditation retreats, and these retreats are always wonderful experiences for all the participants. And this way, I can say my life is at a purpose. Purpose of what? Doing good for the people. Making the people realize something superior. Helping them realizing something superior. Was the purpose of life. What we are. And in each of these retreats, you get to a point in which you really touch the deepest part of yourself. And that's what gives real pleasure to life, real purpose to life, makes life beautiful, worth living. In the course of my life, then I became a therapist also, because I've been very involved with Indian culture. I've been there 35 times in my life. Then I studied also some of Indian music. As I said, I know 300 of these Indian songs. Then I studied Ayurveda also. And I became an Ayurvedic therapist. So in our ashram we also have a small Ayurvedic center. that people come and get these therapies which are so beneficial. So through what we do, that means yoga, meditation, Ayurveda, we have so many people feeling good, experiencing something superior in life. So to me, it's a life which is worthwhile living. A life without this, useless. Just useless. What do you live for? Eating, drinking, what? Sex, drugs, what? Is this the purpose of life? That's a miserable life. Let's say you have a potential of 100, you live only 10, 20 of your potential. That's a life good for nothing. So if you want to make your life meaningful, deep, profound, a happy life, fulfilling life, then try to know who you are, what you are really. Try to raise above this physical body, this thinking mind, this sensory perception. To open the inner door and see the reality. Don't just be happy with your belief system. It's so from the mind. Real spirituality starts where all the doctrines, theologies, philosophies end. Because all of this is always thinking. And truth emerges from deep silence. So don't be happy being a believer of any kind. Be happy being a knower of some kind. Not somebody who believes, but somebody who knows. And it's not arrogance saying that you can know what the truth is. Because you can. Because you are divine nature. We are all divine in nature. And it's not just for Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Mohammed to realize the truth. It's for everybody. So to my eyes, when I look at people so convinced in their belief system, I'm just sorry for them. I feel pity for them. Because that's not what we are. We are not meant to believe. We are meant to experience. So I'm going to be here for a few days. We are going to have some other meetings. If you want to join, I don't know where they are going to be, but Lassie, I can tell you where they are. They will be. If you want to keep joining in, I'll take part in this. You're welcome. If you don't want, it's up to you. If you want to come to attend one of our retreats in Italy, you're welcome. If you don't want, it's up to you. I never care who comes, how many people come. I care that the retreat happens, because even few people, you can have such a wonderful retreat. You know, I've been in so many situations in my life. My first guru, Sankirpal Singh, he has such a huge sangat, Sangat means so many people within, following him. 10s, 20s, meetings with 50,000 people like this. My second guru in Rajasthan, also so many people. So it's not so much the people, the many people that count, but the intention by which you do something. The attention you put, the heart you put in what you do. That's what counts. So my advice, don't live a miserable life. Try to know yourself. Try to make full use of the opportunity which has been given to you. To have a human body in which you can know truth and become truth yourself. So I would like to end this meeting with another song. It's a song in English. It's not my composition. It's from an American lady. She talks about the eyes, the Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes. My Guru's eyes, I dare to look into my Guru's eyes, and worlds and worlds and worlds unfold, and I am lost, sweetly lost in my Guru's eyes. There is no charm in this world that can release me from the lesson learned there. In my Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes. There is no song sweet as this song I heard there. In my Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes. And yet I dare to look away from my Guru's eyes, and worlds and worlds and worlds came crumbling down around my feet, and I was lost, hopelessly lost, without my Guru's eyes. My Guru's eyes,
Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes. And darkness came where once there was light. The day was wrenched for me, bringing night, and tears without end stopped my soul in its flight as I wept aloud for my Guru's eyes, for my Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes, my Guru's eyes. And darkness came where once there was light. The day was wrenched for me, bringing night, and tears without end stopped my soul in its flight as I wept aloud for my Guru's eyes, for my Guru's eyes, 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 my Guru's eyes.
So, thank you for coming, thank you for listening. I hope it was in any way meaningful to you. It's always a pleasure to share what's important for somebody with those who are inclined to listen. So, thank you. God bless. There we go. तेरा नाम रसमूला जी जिन्होंने स्वदा लिया